Shalom, Sister Kate here. I've only been home like a day or two, and I've already gotten back into my work clothes for the outdoors. It's hot, and I haven't really been home that long, and already there's something I need to do a video on. This moratorium about the evictions that's coming up. This is a whole political thing that you guys need to keep your eyes on, because when the news announced that the Biden administration had said they were not going to stop people from being evicted anymore, because Trump had put into place a law that said you can't evict somebody while this pandemic is going on. We've got the Delta variant ripping through the populace. We've got places opening up. We've got places considering masks. And then the Biden administration says they're not going to stop evictions anymore. There's 3.2 million of our citizens, our brothers in the country, who are going to be evicted because of the lockdowns and job loss and so on and so on. And the other thing about this is, I don't understand Biden. I don't understand why he would evict all these citizens, most of whom probably voted for his party, right? I mean, just the Democrat Party counts on low-income families for a lot of their votes, and it's a reason why they're allowing all these illegal immigrants to flood across our border, because out of gratitude, so many of them will vote Democrat. So why is Biden turning 3.2 million of his voters out into the street? It just doesn't make sense to me, unless he really doesn't care about those people anymore. Once he got their votes and he got in office, he doesn't care about the people who voted for him. And so I thought, wow, this seems like a really strange decision on his part. Like, you would think he would want to give them eviction, what do you call it? Forbearance. What's a better word? Like forgiveness. Like, continue to pay the rent so these people don't have to go out on the street until the pandemic situation corrects itself and jobs are available and people can go to work and so on. That's what I would think he would do. So we have that on one hand. Him just saying to all these people, okay, bye-bye, we don't care if you're homeless. On the other hand, now you get the political wrangling. You've got Pelosi saying, oh yeah, he dropped it in our lap at the last minute that we should try to figure out a way to make these evictions not happen. This is political stuff, folks. This is the way they operate. They created this emergency situation. This eviction moratorium is gonna expire, and we're gonna let it. So the Biden administration decided to create this problem of these 3.2 million people being homeless. And then the Biden administration turned to another Democrat, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and said, fix it, and gave her like 2 days before their August break to get it fixed. And now she's acting like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get the votes. I don't know if this is going to happen. And the press is reporting that there's a certain amount of, moderates who don't even want to save these people, who don't want to stop these evictions. And they're saying, why should we bother? Because the Senate's not going to pass this legislation anyway, and we will have wasted all our time. It's all political wrangling. And the sad part of it is, what happens to these 3.2 million citizens? What happens to these Americans that other Americans want to put out on the street? It's just reprehensible, and it's what you get with a Democratic administration. They don't care about the voters once the votes are done. They have that whole push with the BLM and the Antifa rioting and everything up until the vote. And then once they get their guy in, you don't hear anything about any of that anymore. They don't care anymore. They just want the votes. They are heartless, cruel people. And now these 3.2 million of our citizens are going to become everybody's problem, because they're going to be homeless on your streets. They're going to be homeless in big cities. They're going to be homeless all across the nation. They're going to need food, and your taxpayer money is going to go to support them. And it also puts a lot of pressure on each state, because the federal government was the one that was helping out with the rent. And once the federal government is done, then the state can decide whether they want to step in and help their own citizens. And I think they should. I think each state should be ready to take up the slack and provide some sort of housing assistance, or state sponsored housing. You know, they've got places where they're already supporting people's. We rented to a person who was getting like a third of her rent being paid by a program to help her, because she was like a single mom or something. But what really, really gets me is the heartlessness of all this stuff. All right, y'all, keep your eye on it. Bless you. Shalom.